EA Sports.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Hey, what's up, dude? Staxers here, and welcome back to another NHL 19 video. So as you guys all know, Seattle has been approved for an expansion franchise. So it has been confirmed that Seattle is the next NHL team to step into the NHL. So I'm pretty stoked about this. I mean, as a Canadian, I feel it should be a Canadian team that the NHL should be expanding to, but nonetheless, it's pretty exciting to see yet another expansion team make its appearance in the NHL. I mean, you look at the Las Vegas Knights and their success. It's just an exciting experience to watch. Okay, so with that said, I don't want to get too much into detail into what I think about the new expansion team. I mean, we could save that for another video. I mean, that is a very good topic at the moment, but what this video is about is I want to use the NHL 19 expansion franchise feature to create different concepts for the NHL expansion team known as Seattle. Okay, so I'm going to be using a bunch of different websites and different images and all that for references to create these different concepts for the upcoming Seattle team. So not all these concepts are going to be all me, but other than that, you guys can also switch these concepts off if you want to, because basically what I'm going to do with the team that you guys like best, with the concept that you guys like best, is I'm going to make a expansion franchise playthrough. And I have done this in the NHL 18 series. It wasn't very popular, or it wasn't very popular in general on YouTube, but that series wasn't very popular compared to my simulation series. But I want to try to make it more fun this time. I'm going to try to switch it up and add a little more realism to the series. So with this upcoming expansion franchise playthrough, I want to do it game by game. So I'm actually going to be uploading game by game my highlights from each game pretty much to YouTube and so forth. The first upload though will be me getting ready for this playthrough. I'm not going to play a game on my initial upload, but we are going to be getting the team put together and seeing what players we want to play with. So enough about that. We will get more in depth with that in future uploads. For now though, let's focus on this upload. I'm going to throw at you 5 different concepts here, and whichever one you guys like best, put it in the comment section below. So let's say the first one you like the best, put comment number 1. That's all you got to comment. That's it. That's all it takes. And if you want one of these concepts to be switched up too, say you do favorite one of these concepts, just let me know. Creative criticism as best as you can. But yeah, if you feel like I should switch something on one of these concepts, don't be afraid to comment. Okay, so the first concept is actually my favorite concept, to be honest, because it brings a rivalry to a rivalry in the making, pretty much. So as we all know, Seattle is fairly close to Vancouver, and they already have confirmed I think it's the owners or something like that, but they have confirmed that they're excited to start the rivalry with Vancouver specifically. So Vancouver was specified for a rivalry for Seattle. So with that said, this is my favorite concept, and with each of these concepts I show, I want to show the team uniform first. So we're going to show the uniform. So for the first concept, we have the home uniform. So here we have it. Here's the home version, the away version, and for this one I actually created an alternate version, and in my opinion it kind of looks better than the home and away version, but that's open to criticism also. But yeah, these are the jersey concepts that I came up with. Okay, so for this team, the team name is the Seattle Steelheads, and it is one of my favorite names at the moment. I mean, it makes sense. It's not exactly like just a fish like a sockeye, because that was one of the team names I was gonna make, but I switched it to Steelheads because sockeye doesn't sound as aggressive as Steelheads, so we're gonna go with Steelheads. And another reason why I chose this is because Steelhead is Washington state fish, and the name also comes from Seattle's 1940s team in the West, or the West Basketball League. Lastly, here's the mascot. I named him Slappy to reference an old classic, Slappy and the Stinkers. You know it, Slappy and the Stinkers. Anyways, moving on. Also, I do want to mention when Seattle does get introduced, they are going to be moved to the Pacific Division, while Arizona will be moved to the Central Division. Okay, so for the next one, we have Seattle Metropolitans. And the reason I went with this one is because although a lot of people dislike this one, there's a lot of people that do like it, so I decided to throw it in here. Seattle Metropolitans, Seattle Metros, or Seattle Mets, however you want to call them. Although in my opinion, we do have a division called the Metropolitan Division, so I don't exactly agree with this name, but I threw it in there because of popular demand, so why not throw it in there. So here we have the uniforms. For the home uniform, we have this one, so your Seattle Mets. The away uniform, fairly similar of course, and then alternate doesn't look very good to be honest this time, but kind of rushed it. This is the alternate uniform for the Seattle Mets. But yeah, lastly the mascot I threw together pretty quickly, as you can tell. Now he's not big, he's just fluffy, okay? Alrighty, so for the next one we got is the Seattle Skyline. And the reason I chose this one is, like the Minnesota Wild, this nickname could act as both a singular and plural reference to the team. It has obvious reference to the city's appeal. The logo could be spectacular, and think of the creative possibilities. I mean, Seattle branding its top line on game day as the Skyline. I mean, come on guys. Come on. And with that said, Seattle already has a major junior hockey team based in the WHL, which is a Western Hockey League, known as the Seattle Thunderbirds. And I wanted to create one of these concepts based off the colors from that exact team. And I also wanted to give us a logo that looked fairly similar, but I also wanted, I didn't want it to be exactly like a totem or anything like that. So I went with like a bird, as in Skyline, as birds do patrol the skies, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, here are the jerseys I came up with for this concept. So here's the home one, obviously. The green is a little different from the Thunderbirds, but I didn't want to make it exactly like the Thunderbirds, so I did switch it up a little bit. The away, fairly similar. And then alternate, I kind of like alternate. Looks pretty decent. Looks like something I would like to use in gameplay. But I mean, the logo is a little straightforward, but I mean, it works. It still works. Lastly, we got this creepy character right here. He kind of looks like Big Bird, so I decided to name him Little Bird. Yeah, a little creepy, but we're gonna go with it. So the fourth one is the Seattle Totems, and they weren't exactly an NHL team before, because the Seattle Totems, they did exist before, but they were a part of the CHL league. The Seattle Totems were a professional ice hockey franchise in Seattle, Washington. Under several names prior to 1958, the franchise was a member of the Pacific Hockey... Wait. This is a documentary? What am I talking about? All jokes aside, Seattle Totems is a really good hockey name. It's really popular, to be honest, so we're gonna go with this one for the fourth concept here. So because of my native background, yes, I am native, this is honestly one of my favorite hockey team names for a hockey team, to be honest. So if anything, if no one comments on this video and picks a team that they like the most, or a concept that they like the most, this is more than likely going to be the tier, or the one that I go to, or the one that I use. So jumping right into this one, this is a concept I came up with. It kind of looks like the Dallas Stars in a way, but I try to make it as different as I could. But the basis of it was to base it off of kind of a Chicago Blackhawks look. So when we jump over to the away one, there you have it. Kind of looks like a Chicago Blackhawks kind of look to it, and that's what I like about it, to be honest. And then when we go over to alternate, to be honest, it's completely different. And that's what I like about the alternate one. It gives us a different look to play with rather than the green and white all the time. For the mascot, we literally just use the exact same one. We call him Little Bird also. What was it, Little Bird? Yeah, Little Bird. Called him Little Bird also, so not much different on that one. This, once again, is my favorite one, so don't forget to leave your feedback below. If no one leaves any feedback, this will be the one that wins by default. Alrighty, dude, so for my fifth and final concept, I was gonna go with the Krakens, but I'm gonna be honest with you, that team name is a little bit overused. I feel like if they do pick it, it's due to popular demand, but if they don't pick it, it's obviously just overused name in my opinion. But for my fifth and final one, we're gonna go with the Seattle Rainiers, and the reason I chose this name is because there's actually a volcano nearby Seattle called Mount Rainier. It's a fairly popular mountain and fairly popular volcano, and what better way to name a team after a volcano? Now I know they say save the best for last, but I honestly feel like this one is my least favorite out of the 5 concepts here. But I decided to add it anyways because I was kind of running out of ideas and so forth. Here's the team uniform anyways. So we're gonna go to the home uniform. This is how the home uniform looks, the yellow and greenish kind of look. And I went with a logo that is actually being used in the ECHL, but because it was the best looking logo for the Rainiers logo, I honestly couldn't find a better looking logo, so I just went with this one. And then the away version, and then after that we have the alternate version, which doesn't look any different, or doesn't look too much different than the original home version, but I didn't want to switch it up too much, and I also wanted to go with the yellow and green once again for the alternate. And this just gives us a chance to use something a little different when we are doing this playthrough, if this team gets picked, or if this concept gets picked, of course. And lastly, dudes, this is probably the most scariest mascot I've ever created, but here he is. This is the highlight of this concept here, is this mascot right here. I named him Ralph, as you can see, number 0. Yeah, he's pretty freaky. I'd imagine that a lot of people would be scared by this mascot itself. But yeah, that's the creation of that one. So that kind of does it for those 5 concepts. I know they're not the best concepts, but using NHL 19 to create these concepts, I mean, it's not the best format. I don't have too much to work with, especially coming to logos and whatnot. But I came up with the best concepts that I could come up with. And like I mentioned at the start of this video, the reason for this specific video and for all these 5 concepts is that one of these are going to be used in my next expansion franchise playthrough. And it really depends on which ones you guys like the most. So comment in the comment section below which one you guys like the most out of the 5, with the specific number to whatever order I showed them in. So let's say the first one, you like the first one, comment number 1. Second one, etc. But yeah, I am planning on creating an expansion franchise playthrough where I do it game by game and upload game by game, the highlights and whatnot. And I was gonna start this one a while ago. I was planning on doing a Saskatoon or a Canadian expansion franchise to switch it up a bit, but then Seattle was confirmed recently, and because of that I've decided why not do a Seattle expansion franchise playthrough. I mean, it's exciting enough, and I wanna experience the expansion earlier than expected, I guess. So that'll probably do it for this upload. I hope you guys enjoyed this upload and enjoyed checking out some of my concepts that I've created for the upcoming Seattle expansion franchise. I will still continue my Vancouver franchise mode. I know I started that one a little early, and then the rosters got updated and Elias Pettersson got like a huge jump, but I am still going to continue the current franchise mode that I am working on. and I will finish that one off, and maybe in the future sometime we will redo the Vancouver one, but at the moment we're gonna continue working at it as if nothing got changed, pretty much. But yeah, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this upload. Don't forget to leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you happen to drop by. But yeah, my name's Staxers. Peace out, dudes.